So between the last pull and this pull, the only change I made was fattening it up a little bit, because reading the plug, I couldn't tell. Honestly, I couldn't really see a lot there. It looked way safe. Part of me wanted to lean it out to try to make some more power, but before we went that direction, I decided that the safest thing was add a little bit of fuel and see if it liked it or not. I haven't really studied the data log yet to see where we ended up on duty cycles and some of that stuff, but just looking at the horsepower numbers, it liked more fuel. So I'm glad I decided to go that direction. We just made 1,290 horsepower at 7,300 RPM. Peaked out with 1,008 foot-pounds of torque at 6,100 RPM. Honestly, I think it would have made a little bit higher peak torque number, slightly lower than that if I had been at wide open throttle sooner. I was just driving into the dyno and not wanting to really work the motor down low anywhere near peak torque for a minute till we really see what it wants for fueling time. And I'll admit that I don't consider myself extremely experienced on E85 race grade fuel. Most of my experiences with straight methanol. So this is a little bit of an experience or learning experience for me too, tuning a boosted engine up in the 1,300 horsepower range on E85. So anxious to get more knowledge and experience with that, but also want to be very safe in getting there too. So stay tuned. All right, so we just finished dynoing this Magnuson TVS 2650 blown 440. This thing has been quite the evolution of the engine combination. When the customer originally hit me up, we were going to do a street strip 6.2 LS3 based engine with this blower. And then since then, his expectations and maybe the goals for the race vehicle and even the vehicle that it was going in, I think, has changed. We got on the dyno. It's on the E85. We're running Boostline race grade E85. So when we had this thing on the dyno in its original life form on the 6.2 street strip version, which was a low compression dish piston combination with a much smaller camshaft, we did two things. We ran out of fuel system. This thing's on Boostline race grade E85. And my previous dyno fuel system couldn't keep up. So we hit up the guys at Deeks Works, and they helped engineer a dyno fuel system that would allow us to efficiently dyno all the way down from like a 500 horsepower pump gas motor running pump 1 at 50%. And then we can go all the way to running all three of those pumps at 100%. And they claim that we're going to be able to fuel around 2,000 horsepower on methanol. I haven't got there yet, but we plan to soon. This combination just made right at 1,300 horsepower, and there was zero signs that we were anywhere near running out of fuel system. So I'm pretty proud of that fuel system that they helped us put together, and thanks to them again for that. So the second thing that happened during that original dyno session was Eric Tobar was not really excited about the results power level wise, and so we talked about that, and I think maybe even since in the vehicle that it was going in was going to change. I may not be correct about that, but I think it did. So we took all that apart. He's got another plan for that little dish piston 6.2, and we started on a new long block to set this blower on. And what we did here is I took a Gen 4 aluminum LS block, and I put a power bore sleeve kit in it to get it, to make it capable of going all the way out to 4.185 bore, which is where this block is finished with the 4-inch crank, which makes this a 440 cubic inch motor. I got with the guys at BTR and spec'd down a cam that I thought would make it all happen and hit Eric's goal. He was saying he wanted solid 1,300 horsepower, and that's where we finished up. I wished I'd had the rev limiter turned up just a touch higher on that last pull. It was set at 7,500, and when it tickled it, we were making 1,290. But the engine was giving no signs of rolling over. So, anyways, we met Eric's expectations and goals, and I think he's going to have a lot of fun with it. Even since then, he had me add a couple little dry nozzles up here up front just for a little scramble button on the big end. I think he's only going to put maybe 100 shot in it. Yeah, this thing it should be fun. It's a really cool combination. It's running mainly billet crank, which is their true billet, not a forged, but a billet center counterweighted 4-inch stroke crank, mainly tough H-beam rods, running the Diamond LS2K piston pin ring combination. So rotating assembly in the sleeve block definitely way robust. I feel way good about the power level that we're making in a stock block, but with those components. I'm running some Flowtech heads that Ericsson off to Ice Engine Works and had them CNC ported. These things were flowing a little over 400 CFM on the intake at 700 lift. So definitely the thing's breathing good. And the little blower, the way we're turning it, which I'd be lying if I said exactly what the overdrive was, but we were tickling almost 18 pounds of boost at 7,500 RPM. I want to say it made like 17.7, 17.8 pounds of boost. We were 18 degrees of timing. Like I said, we're on Boostline race grade E85. And yeah, it's a nice piece. Don't really know what else I could say about it other than I'm really proud of the build. Also, I do want to mention that it's kind of funny that it worked out to where this was actually serial number 47 of the Boostline blocks, and along the way, I dreamed up the idea of kind of rebranding this Magnuson blower to be the Maga Son blower. So as you can tell, we're all Trump fans around here.